What's up, everyone? Welcome to my dining room. I thought some of you might be interested in exactly which movies are in this Russ Meyer box set and what kind of special features they have. The set's really cool and definitely worth picking it up if you can find it. I bought it when it first came out, and I think back then I paid around 80, 90 euros for it. Now, it's been out of print for a minute, so I see it on eBay sometimes going for upwards of $300 or euros or whatever. But some of these show up individually. I guess some people sort of cannibalize their box sets. And yeah, not every DVD here is really worth buying. So if you want to build a little Russ Meyer collection, then maybe this video will be useful. So I'll just go through the DVDs, which movies are on there, what kind of special features they have, and say a little bit about what the movie is and if the movie is worth watching. Alright, so first one out here, Motorcycle and Good Morning and Goodbye. Both of these are pretty cool. Motorcycle is my favorite of the two. This film, it's the film debut of Haji, and it's got a guy, I don't remember his name. He was in The Godfather as Mo something or other. Anyway, it's his film debut as well. The movie's pretty cool. It's about three crazy bikers who cause havoc in a small town. And it's one of the first movies to explore kind of a damaged Vietnam vet, how the war made him a bit crazy or whatever. And the end of it is sort of reminiscent of another Russ Meyer film, Super Vixens. Oh yeah, pretty cool. No nudity, but some pretty beautiful people. Good Morning and Goodbye. I like this movie, but this isn't a good one to start off with if you're just getting into Russ Meyer. But if you're into Russ Meyer, it's pretty cool. It has some really great lines, some good zingers, courtesy of the writer, what was his name again? Jack Horner? No, not Jack Horner. What's his name? Jack Moran, right. Yeah, Russ Meyer had a few good writers over the years. Jack Moran was definitely one. Jack Moran's also the guy that wrote Faster Pussycat, Kill Kill. And yeah, it's not like the sexiest movie ever. Pretty cool. I like it. It's worth watching, mostly because of the funny dialogue. Next one. Oh, special features. Nothing. A trailer reel, which just has a trailer of, I guess, all of these movies. No, nothing to speak of. Next one, we got Beneath the Valley of the Ultra Vixens. This movie, I like this movie okay. It's really funny at times, particularly the scenes with Kitten Natividad. She's pretty great. Definitely the highlight in this movie. The editing in this film is pretty cool. This is when Russ was getting into some really fast-paced editing. Yeah, it's worth checking out. It's not my favorite. Still pretty good. But on the extras here, it does have a commentary, which is pretty nice, and it has a featurette with Kitten Natividad, where it's basically just an interview, and she's pretty cool, and lots of background stuff about Russ and making the movies and whatever. So yeah, this one, yeah, that's definitely worth trying to track down. Next one, Lorna and Mudhoney on one disc. That's pretty cool. Both of these are black and white period pieces. I think they take place during the Depression. I guess it's kind of Russ's attempt to make more serious movies. They're also called Roughies. He wasn't the first person to do Roughies. I think that actually was Herschel Gordon Lewis. But yeah, these are two early, Roughies. And I like both of them. Lorna, she's beautiful. And the story is, wow, it's a bit crazy. She is in an unsatisfying relationship. There's an ex-convict who has her way with her. She ends up actually liking it though, because her husband is such a, worthless guy in the sack. So, typical Russ Meyer weirdness. Yeah, and Mudhoney is, I think I like Mudhoney a bit more actually. Mudhoney as a guy, sort of down on his luck, and he takes a job as like a farmhand. Yeah, it's cool. Depression era drama, basically. Yeah, Mudhoney, it's cool. Lorna, worth watching. Oh, extra features? Nothing. Trailer reel. I think it's the same trailer reel as on the other ones. Next one, Cherry, Harry, and Raquel and Common Law Cabin. Cherry, Harry, and Raquel is many people's favorite Russ Meyer film. The story is, he never actually finished the story. What's interesting about Cherry, Harry, and Raquel is one of the actresses left the shoot with like 10 days left to film or something like that. And so in order to make up the time, he brought in Ushi Degard and filmed a bunch of scenes of her, running around in the desert naked, and spliced them all in. And it gives the film this really like weird, it's really weird, because the Ushi scenes, like, what the hell is she doing in this movie? It makes it kind of like an art house picture a little bit. Yeah, really cool editing, beautiful people. Oh, and one of my favorites, Charles Napier is in this. I think this is actually Charles Napier's first film. Oh, and the other one, Common Law Cabin. This one, I think I've only seen this once. I don't remember much about it, except I remember her. She's lovely. She's not naked, I don't think, in this movie. I don't think she's in a couple of Russ Meyer films, but she never, does full frontal or anything. But yeah, she's quite lovely. The movie, I don't remember much about it. I should watch that one again. Oh, she's also the main person in Good Morning and Goodbye. Right, so yeah, she's pretty cool. Oh, extra features? Nothing. Trailer reel, again, so nothing special. Okay, and then we got Naked Gals of the Naked West. Oh no, Wild Gals of the Naked West and Black Snake. Both of these movies are terrible. I kind of like the art style of Wild Gals of the Naked West. He kind of, like painted on the wall basically to make like bed frames and stuff. It's kind of cool. Russ apparently thought this movie was super funny. It's not. The movie is pretty stupid. This is like the sort of the end of his nudie cuties period. And yeah, it didn't do very well in the theaters. Yeah, and it's not surprising because it's not very good and it doesn't show nearly enough skin. I don't know if there's much nudity in it at all, if I remember right. But it does kind of look kind of cool. So, at a party, you could throw it on to project it on a wall or something. That could be all right. But it's not worth watching. And the other one, Black Snake, actually is Russ Meyer attempting to make a blaxploitation film, and it's just terrible. Not worth watching. So yeah, this is maybe the worst disc in the collection. Extras, trailer reel, and some TV spots. So I don't know. The TV spots, I guess, at least it's not a trailer. But yeah, nothing special here. Two pretty bad movies. Up gets its own disc. Up is crazy, totally crazy. It starts off with Adolf Hitler being killed by an assassin who puts a piranha in his bathtub. Oh no, actually there's a sex dungeon scene before that, and then he gets killed by a piranha in a bathtub. Totally wild. Yeah, totally, completely wild. And I guess the best thing about it is it's got Raven Delacroix in it, and she's lovely. And I really wish she had been in a better Russ Meyer film. I kind of like this one, but I'm sort of like the normal Russ Meyer films. Not one of my favorites. But yeah, it has some funny stuff, some weird stuff, and Raven is amazing. But yeah, worth checking out. Extras, though, pretty cool here. We've got Interview with Kitten again, And another featurette with Raven Delacroix. She talks about, filming the movie and how difficult it was and how demanding Russ was. Pretty cool. So some good special features on this. Kind of an okay movie, but maybe not really. Next one, Vixen, also gets its own disc. Vixen this is a good movie. Kind of weird. Russ was, I think, experimenting a bit with some different types of eroticism or whatever. There's some weird scenes like where she puts a fish in her dress, and apparently Russ liked this. It's pretty weird. But yeah, the movie's kind of cool. Vixen is, what's her name? Erica Gavin. She's lovely, and her character is, I guess you'd call her like a nymphomaniac, and pretty racist. But then, there's some nice sort of drama and character development. Yeah, I like this movie. It's, pretty weird. I mean, we're talking about Russ Meyer. Most of these are pretty weird. But yeah, it's also pretty cool. And some good extras on here as well. Russ Meyer commentary, those are always great. And it's got a featurette. And I believe in the featurette they interview Erica Gavin. Yeah, really sad too about her. She talks about how, when she first saw this movie on the big screen and saw herself on the big screen, it gave her kind of a complex. And she became like anorexic after, which is pretty sad. Here, she's beautiful. And then sadly, though, the film gave her some mental issues that she didn't quite work out well enough, and anorexia, pretty terrible. Cool movie though. Oh, Super Vixens. Well, I did a whole review on this one, so if you watch that, you already know I love this movie. Great, it's one of my favorite Russ Meyer films. It has a commentary track, also trailer reel. If you want more info on this, you can check out my review. I don't know where it will be. I'll stick it up there somewhere. But yeah, Super Vixens is awesome. Oh, then we got a disc of the Immoral Mr Tease and Eve and the Handyman. My very first video for this channel was the Immoral Mr Tease. Pretty cool movie. It's the very first nudie cutie, like a sex comedy, and much different from the stuff that came before. Russ really was the guy that opened all of these doors for us. Before him, before Tease, the only way to see nudity on the screen, the big screen, was, in these horrible and really boring, like, nudist pictures, like Garden of Eden and stuff like that. Or like Nude on the Moon. That's a weird one. Anyway, or like these medical movies that were sort of disguised as like hygiene films. That was about it. After that, it was like underground, more or less illegal stag films until Mr. Tease. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty influential film in the history of cinema. And yeah, I like it a lot, actually. It's cool. The other one, though, on here, Eve and the Handyman, is really stupid. The whole thing is one big joke, and it is a terrible joke. The only redeeming feature of the movie at all is the Eve in Eve and the Handyman was Russ Meyer's wife, Eve Meyer. And she was a Playboy model that Russ shot her for Playboy a few times. So it's kind of cool to see her in a movie. She's a really cool woman anyway. She ran the business side of Russ's company, as a producer, a bunch of his films. Sadly, she died in, I think, the biggest airline catastrophe in the world ever. Pretty sad. But yeah, the movie is terrible. There's no nudity except for like one brief scene, and it's not Eve. She doesn't show anything, but she's got a cool face, and she's just cool in general. But yeah, the movie, terrible. Next is Mondo Topless. This is a documentary about strippers. Well, documentary, that's kind of a weird. That's maybe giving the movie too much credit. It's not it's just Russ filmed a bunch of strippers dancing, and then they talk over the film about dancing. But there's a huge collection of strippers from, I guess, the 60s when this came out in the movie. So that's kind of cool. But what's really great about the movie is the music. The music is super great. And I wish I could play some on the video for you, but YouTube will definitely claim it. So that's not going to happen. But yeah, Mondo Topless, I like it. But not as a movie to kind of sit down and watch all the way through. It's more, you listen to the music, while you're reading a book or something, and then occasionally you can look up on the screen to see something interesting. But yeah, it's cool. I like it. I think it's worth having. But yeah, it's not the kind of movie you want to sit down and watch. It's more of a background movie. And a pretty good background movie, too, I guess. Oh, and extra features. Interview with Jonathan Ross. And a trailer reel, photo gallery. Okay, well, not too bad, I guess. Oh, Faster Pussycat, Kill Kill, the most famous Russ Meyer film. So this is if you've only seen one Russ Meyer film, it's probably this one. So I don't have to say too much about it. It's basically, he did Motor Psycho, which is a big success, and then he's like, well, if people like this movie about 3 crazy bikers who are men, let's do one about 3 crazy race car drivers who are women and strippers. And so, yeah, that totally sounds awesome, and it is totally awesome. And, yeah, screenplay by Jack Moran, which they don't even say on here. They say writing credits by Russ Meyer. That's not exactly right. Jack Moran, he wrote the screenplay for this. At least most of it. Anyway, yeah, classic, great movie. Definitely worth having. And the last disc in the set is Pandora Peaks and Finders, Keepers, Lovers, Weepers. I hate this movie. Pandora Peaks is terrible. I think it's the worst Russ Meyer film. Pandora, it's a documentary of Pandora, and then I think some Austrian woman as well, or German. I don't remember. I only watched it once and hated it. But anyway, Pandora, she's pretty boring, and I don't like the look of these skin stretched over beach volleyballs. Not my thing, not anywhere close to my thing. So yeah, don't like this movie. I don't like the look of it. I don't like the conversations. Terrible. But the other one on here, Finders, Keepers, Lovers, Weepers, is pretty cool. That one is a guy, he owns a bar, also has some dancers in it, and he's having some marital problems. His wife organizes to rob the bar. So yeah, it's kind of like some marital problem drama with like a crime story. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, so that was definitely worth watching. Too bad it's on a disc with the worst Russ Meyer film. That's too bad. And special features, nothing. Trailer reel, TV spots. It's the same trailer reel and TV spots that are on the other ones. Oh, did I do special features on Faster Pussycat? Russ Meyer commentary, awesome. Exclusive commentary by the Pussycats, super cool. It's also got a featurette called Go Pussycat Go and a trailer reel. So yeah, that's pretty great. That disc is definitely worth having. This disc is half worth having. Yeah, so there you go. That's what's in the box. I think Arrow put out another version of this with one more movie, Europe in the Raw. That was the second edition. This is the first edition, if I remember correctly. Maybe one of you will correct me in the comments. But yeah, either one, definitely worth picking up. And yeah, that's what you can expect to find. Alright, well, I hope that was interesting and useful. Take it easy.